don't kiss goodnight, we just turn off the light. Been arguing about the thermostat every night. The lawyer's too pricey, the paperwork's long, so we just fuss and cuss, then shuffle along. Ain't passion, it ain't bliss, but it's cheaper than splitting this. We're too old to divorce, so we just complain instead. She hates how I snore, I hate how she hogs the bed. Could call it quits, but we're broke and gray, so we gripe then laugh and we make it through the day. Her cooking's too salty, my driving's too slow. She tells the same story everywhere we go. But at the end of the day, with our aches and our pride, we'd rather nag each other than be lonely inside. Ain't roses, ain't champagne, but I'd marry her again and still complain. We're too old to divorce, so we just complain instead. She hides the remote, I just watch what she said. Could split our lives, but we'd lose our friends, so we bicker, roll eyes, and we're happy in the end. Now don't mistake it, love's still here. It just sounds a lot like pass me a beer. We're too old to divorce, so we just complain instead. Been fighting so long, the neighbor thinks we're dead, but I'll hold her hand till my dying day, grumbling side by side in the very same way. She says she'll leave me tomorrow, but I know she won't. She can't drive.
Well, good evening and welcome to Pepper's Echo. I'm really sorry. I have just finished clipping and throwing whatever I can together, and I've just moved the camera to probably the best spot that I can try and get it to, and I'm going to try and put my hands under the desk so that I don't do this, and it looks shaky because I was supposed to try and figure out a way to hand the camera. But hello to all you awesome, freaking absolutely wonderful, right out of the stadium, fanatically fantastical, wonderful people out there. I hope you took a look at my last little post over there, which said you can only win when your mind is stronger than your emotions. Take a look at that one. We're such emotional beings these days. And we tend to have the Karen come out in us, or just the emotion just go bananas in us before we actually think about what we say. So I'm really trying to think about what I'm saying these days. So yes, good afternoon to everybody. Buzzy, thank you very much for always grabbing the link from me there. Super. Hendo, our favorite European South African. How are you doing, my friend? Dylan, always an absolute pleasure to see you. Fantastic. Dylan, Hendo, Nick, it is great to have you with us as well. Absolutely awesome people that we have here tonight. Hendo and the wifey Ina's there. I wonder if she missed the first song. Anyway, Hendo, Dylan, Buzzy, Debbie. Hello, Debbie. Always good to see you. How's Colin going? Always send love and regards that way. Hendo, Dylan, Buzzy, and that's what I've got so far. Sunday specialist, yes, I'm sorry I'm late. No, I didn't move my posters. I'm using my phone as a camera because I think it might be clearer than the webcam that I did have. So I I hope that it's clearer. If it isn't, let me know. Then I'll just go back to the webcam. But I think my phone is clearer. But my phone also gives me a different zoom on it. So my posters didn't move. My camera just now has a wider spectrum. So I'm going to have to do something like that. Ina, you need to help me get these posters covering the whole background, please. So yeah. Dylan says much clearer. Hendo says clearer. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah. Where's Awol Arbot? Dylan says, don't ignore the wife. No. We're too old to get divorced. We've happy with each other. Debbie says, we're still waiting for our new vehicle 2 weeks later, but Colin's good. Okay, that's fantastic. Pleased to hear that Colin is keeping much better. Also, guys, please keep Alison in your thoughts and prayers as well. She is really going through a pretty hard time, and I would really, really ask that you do keep her in your thoughts and prayers too. That would be great. Buzzy, I'm pleased the sound is good. My mic is still not the right mic, but one day when I grow up and I make a lot of money, I'm going to get a good mic as well, so that hopefully my sound is so good and you can think it's Elvis on the side. Maybe I'll have to blur the picture then so that you can actually not have to look at me. Thank you very much. Thinking of Alison and sending her best wishes with a virtual hug. Thanks, Debbie. Hendo says we can see your grey better. Yes. Yes, first look, this is not grey, it's executive highlights. Indeed so, absolutely. The weekend, where has the weekend gone? It feels like it was just yesterday that we were talking, and I've been so hectic today. I finished a whole assignment as well. Not only did I have to do an assignment, I had to do a presentation, and I had to do talking like this and put the talking on the presentation, make a whole sort of movie of it, doing the presentation, then send the movie in as well. What the hell are presentations getting to? Where's the good old days when you just wrote a thing and sent it in? Now you've got to present it. So yeah, pretty hectic. Anyways, so the pups are there. You blinked and a week flew by. Yeah, no, I blinked and a week flew by. A week blew by. A week flew by. Yeah, no, I can't believe it. I mean, you just start going to work on a Monday morning, and next thing it's Friday afternoon. Saturday you're working. Sunday Ina pulls the grindstone, and then when we look again, we've had no time together. I've actually got work to do after this still. I haven't finished a lesson plan because I had another meeting with a friend who's coming over in December. So, yeah, one lesson plan to finish, but maybe I can do it tomorrow night. But you know how I feel tomorrow night when I come home. I got like a personality of a pancake, man. I feel like the guys who just had a milking cow kick over his bucket of milk after milking. So, yeah, don't feel like that. Executive highlight sounds like a SA politician. Call me Mr. Fix Fogo. I'm kidding. Don't say that, because I actually have him in the news today. However, what we did do is we decided that our tiles were rather cold. So because the tiles were cold, we figured that the doggies are actually having a problem with the tiles. So we bought the doggies shoes, and the shoes came last night. And we put the doggies' shoes on. The pups are not appreciative of their shoes. I wonder if you'd like to see what the pups did with their shoes. This is Ozzy's take on having shoes put on. He was not very impressed. Jessie, like a real little lady, started doing ballet. Watch this. Hey, Bobby. Come here.
Not even that's making a move.
Real little ballerina, drama queen. Really. Oh, leg up. Come, Bobby. And nog one. One would swear we'd given her a G-string the way she was going on. Bloody little can dancer with those high kicks. I heard. Well, we thought, the tiles are cold. They usually stand on these tiles and shiver. Let me take it off. So we decided, get them shoes. Then they won't be cold. Oh, no. And to crown it all, when it comes to evening, they get jerseys and T-shirt. Mommy puts their pajamas on and everything like that. And then they got these shoes as well that they're throwing all over the place. So this morning when their jams were taken off, I put their shoes on and they both just gave me this cold shoulder and jumped in their boxes. And I thought, oh, well, to hell with that. I'll let Mommy put the shoes on. So I pulled the shoes off again. And they were in the computer room, which has a wooden floor. So much, much better. Hey, Get Gillage, how's it going? Yeah, no. What's Hendo say? He says those Woes Afrikaner dogs hate shoes. Kalfoot pote. Yeah, but they're not from South Africa. They're from Cambodia, man. It's yesterday. Suppose it's because we don't wear shoes there either. It's too bloody hot. Why are my shoes? Why are my feet so heavy? Yeah, no, I've never seen them do ballet tricks like that before, but yeah. Boots and all, yeah, there we go. Boots and all, leg exercises, yeah. Anyways, yeah, from the pups, well, they're not doing the can and that anymore. But from the pups to Ina did do a little bit of she was actually doing it for her sister. So I said to her, give me the clips that you took today of the metro, the underground rail that we catch. So what we've actually started learning is to try and save a little bit because pennies are stretching. So to go to work in where we go on a weekend, it costs us around about 43 to 48 RMB one way, and then 43 to 48 RMB another way. So it costs us almost 100 RMB of what we make to actually get there and back if you take it Didi, which is like a Uber, taxi, whatever. So we've now started, you walk about 600 meters to our metro station and then you go underground, and it costs us 4 RMB there and 4 RMB back. So if you take 48 and 48 is about 96 and you change it to 8, it's a lot cheaper going there by metro and coming back by metro. But then people also say, why have I got Lendo's leg exercise here? Sorry. RMB, renminbi, it's yuan. It's another word for yuan. Get Gilch. It's another word for yuan. It's the Chinese do not mix it up with the Japanese yen. Chinese currency is yuan, yuan, but it is apparently renminbi if you actually look at it some other way, and instead of renminbi they refer to it here as RMB, otherwise just kwai, but usually it's just RMB. Instead of saying 12 yuan, it's 12 RMB. M for Mike, renminbi, and M for Mike, B. I'm not too sure about the dollars, and my phone's busy at the moment, so I can't wax it to dollars or euros. But to the rand is usually about 2 Rand 45, 2 Rand 47. When I swap it over to rands, I usually just multiply it by 2.5. So anything that I do in RMB is 2 times 2.5 in rands. No worries. But no, Debbie, not yen. Yen is Japan. Yuan, yuan is China. So I think that's why they also go RMB. RMB sounds like that Mozambican drink, rum and raspberry. Debbie, really? I didn't think you'd think of that. But anyway, what I did want to show you is she took a photo and then she took a long walk talking to her sister. So don't worry about the talking. I didn't have time to take out the sound and everything like that. So it is in Afrikaans, so don't worry about it. Just wanting to show you, but it is a long walk, so I will chat to you while I am. This is on the train, on the metro train. So as you can see, it's all pretty neat and really, really clean. There's no real worries on that sense. Dylan says, always ask for friends and family discount. Yeah. So yeah, the train's really, really nice. This is just a photo. She hasn't really done the inside of it. Going really fast. So it's actually pretty quick, especially if you don't have any stops, but it does stop at all its different stations, etc., etc. Here is where she was getting off the train.
Okay, dis nou, ek het nou uit die trein uitge...
And this is what your stations look like. And they've all got that glass wall on the side, so there is no open track. You'll see they're all glassed on the side, so the glass wall door and the train's door opens. It doesn't, you can't get bumped onto the track because it's got a glass wall in front of the train like that. There the train goes again. You'll see that it's got the glass wall, so you can't go onto the track from there. Okay, now she's going to go up, but she stops that and then she starts a huge 4-minute video now, which we will go through and chat as we go along.
Okay.
Right, now she's coming up from where? This is just a token that she was actually showing, because I actually use on my phone, I use a QR code. I just generate a QR code on Alipay and scan it. You'll see where she's going to put her token in now. There's just a little scan. But because her phone is connected to Dangerous Gentleman, my bank account, we can't generate the same QR code. So she just goes and buys a token. She'll show you where she gets the token. All she does is select the station that she wants to go to. But this is what your metro looks like in China. All your metros look like this. This is actually a very normal one. You'll see there just before she would put it in, there's a little light. That's where you scan your QR code.
Hierdie masjiene is waar jy 'n token kry en dan kom
And that's where you buy your token from.
Die laaste lyn wat jy op gaan eindig, dan druk jy daai lyn.
It can get quite busy. She was obviously on a Sunday today, which was a quieter day.
Ek wil op lyn 5 wees.
And it does have English on there as well, so then you just choose the station that you're going to. Once again, however, you will be paying with Alipay or WeChat to actually get your token. I think you might be able to put a card in there. I don't know. You definitely won't get a cool drink with cash or Alipay or with card or cash. You need your phone to be able to do that. But everything is pretty clean. There's no homeless people sitting around there. Nobody's playing your music. There's actually all the announcements are actually in English and in Chinese, which is actually quite nice, because I always moan about the fact that we don't get English. I've never been to the Jubilee line. That's why I don't insult anything from there, because I don't have skin in those games there.
Toerist kan nie verdwaal nie, want alles is vir jou in Chinese.
But now I'm going to show you how safe this is. Take a look at what time she's on the... She comes out of the metro by herself. This is a woman alone that she comes home this evening.
En dit gee vir jou die hele ding van hoeveel stoppe waar jy moet afklim.
So it's not broad daylight this lady walks into from a metro station.
Wat die eindstop is. So jy kan nie verkeerd gaan nie. Dis eintlik baie cool en baie goedkoop. Goedkoop. Sorry man, hierdie escalator is 'n bietjie lank.
Yeah, she's apologizing for the long escalator.
Amper bo, dis pik donker buite.
I didn't even get time to do a fast forward clip on it.
Donker
But take a look at the time of day she comes out of the metro by herself to walk another 700-800 meters home by herself.
So, hier gaan ons nou. Ek is nou buite. Kan jy sien, hier is die strate, die is die metro, daar oor kan die straat, daai ene is ook 'n metro station. Selfde lyn 7, wat jy kan vat, en dan gaan hy na ander rigtings. So, daar's hy. Ek is nou op pad om my huis toe te loop. So, jy kan saam met my huis toe loop, En as jy nie dit wil kyk nie, dan kan jy die video afsit as jy klaar gekyk het van die stasie. Maar dit vat my
You can
omtrent
rent
so
a bicycle as well if you wanted to ride between
na
the station
10
and
minute
home.
om
But
huis
it's
te
so
loop,
close,
ek
you'll
dink
see
nie, ek
that
gaan
she's
julle
just
van
going
my
to
huis loop, dit is
probably
te
do a little bit.
lank.
And I'm going to let it run a
Dit is te
bit so
lank
you can
video
actually
kyk.
take a look
So ek is
around
lief vir
there.
jou. Sien jy
Because
daar?
take a look, it's pretty
Oh.
clean. And it's just
Ja,
a standard
sien jy daai gebou
suburban
blue?
area.
Daai
Yeah, that's our
lang gebou
building.
daar. Dit is my huis. En
Yeah,
die
that
een daar
top floor,
heel bo.
That's me
Ek
working.
gaan inzoom. Die
Right
een
on that top
boer
floor,
aan die
that's
heel
me working there.
bokant.
You can't see me for
Ag,
the
my
washing,
vinger.
but
O, my
that's
vinger is
me
net oop.
working in there.
Heel
That's our
boonste
place.
lig is my balkon. So, love you lots. Praat met jou môre. Bye.
Okay, so you now got Ina's phone call to her sister. But yeah, and that's where she's walking at that time of the night, coming up out of the metro station. As you saw, the metro station is perfectly clean, perfectly safe, well looked after, announcements in English. You saw on the train as well, that train, you can't eat or drink on the train. So you can't go and grab your hamburger and munch it away on the train. The train moves quite quick, so it's not like you're going to be sitting on there for hours. But yeah, and she walked home by herself quite comfortably, gets home, not nervous at all, anything like that. I'm not worried about her. She's a big, strong girl. No, I'm kidding. She's pretty safe, very safe, not pretty safe. She's actually very safe. You'll find people wandering by and maybe taking the dogs for a walk. And it's very clean and very well lit up as well. And then once again, there's no way you can go that they're not going to see. No braais, Gert. That just hit me in the short rib. Yes, no braais. That's unfortunately, that's the one thing that I must say. As you saw that now, that's what a normal suburb in China or in Nanjing in the cities look like. You don't come across suburban houses like you would in South Africa. So there's no yards. Like we have gated communities in South Africa where you have townhouses, and there's like one like big gated community and a whole lot of townhouses, maybe one on top of the other or else just next to each other. And that, yeah, you have what they call compounds, and it's these huge buildings. We're on the 31st floor of this building, and this is our gated. So our community is gated. I mean, I think we've got 15 buildings in our community, and it stretches from one side of the road, other side each has got its gated entrance and everything like that. But it's all apartments. You don't find like a townhouse or actually my friend in Hangzhou is very, very fortunate enough. He has connected townhouses, but they're like 3 floors, and it's also a gated community, and it's connected. So it's not impossible, but they have like a 3-floor sort of very narrowish townhouse type of thing, and maybe 3 floors. Well, not maybe, they do have 3 floors. Well, the bottom part is a lounge and kitchen area with a bathroom. Then the middle part is just a bedroom, and then the top part is like a living room and a bedroom with a nice big balcony. There, Gert, we can actually braai. And that's why I miss going to visit my friend in Hangzhou, because I don't find a place to easily braai at all. We're not allowed to braai in our balconies. Our balconies are closed in anyway, for the simple reason it gets blooming cold in winter. And even downstairs, they're extremely worried about fire because of their greenery and everything all over the place. So they are not very avid to it. I think there are places I'd have to find out. I really need to find out, because I need to be able to have a braai sometime. But yeah, unfortunately, some things you do give up. I'm still hoping to be able to get a car one day when I'm big. But things are just not in our favor for it just yet. And then be able to drive around. So, you know, if I take a look at what I'm spending on having cabs to get around to school and get in out to school and back into town and that. And also then we can actually take the dogs with us as well, which is going to be really, 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 really awesome. So, yeah, life in China is different, but not bad. And this is why I try and tell people China is not backwards. It's just different. It's not, you know, if we just get things coming together a bit, we would be far better off than being against each other. China's definitely different. There's no two ways about it. But I mean, let me not go down that route now. Yeah. My tattoo. Yeah, I have that way. I have my wolf and I have my wings. That is my wolf over there, and then my wings has got my mom's dates over there. So yeah, those are my wings and my wolf. Talking about China, Jensen Huang, NVIDIA CEO. Yeah, what he has to say about China.
China has some of the best entrepreneurs in the world because they came from some of the best STEM schools in the world. We're up against a formidable, innovative, hungry, fast-moving, under-regulated. Okay, people don't realize this. They are very lightly regulated. Some of the things I heard, they could never build AI chips. That just sounded insane too. That China can't manufacture. China can't manufacture? If there's one thing they could do is manufacture. Three, they're years behind us. Is it 2 years, 3 years? Come on, they're nanoseconds behind us.
Nanoseconds.
Yeah, they're nanoseconds behind us. And so we've got to go compete.
Just something I was like really pretty fascinated by. And it's true. This is Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA. And NVIDIA's your leading chip company in the world, which is American. So he's an American CEO of NVIDIA. And I mean, for him to be able to speak like that, and there's so many other pieces in that as well. I've just taken that one, but there's so many others that he's spoken about. And you know what? He doesn't deny that they're in the lead. He doesn't deny that they're at the top of their technology or whatever. But he's also not blind to the fact that China does not have a reliancy. And I think the fact that he actually notices that it would be better for them to be together. I mean, I really am hoping. I think Trump's sitting down with Xi Jinping now this week or this weekend. And I hope that they get to actually work together, because two superpowers like this, to be able to stand together, is going to be amazing for the world. It's going to be amazing for both of their people, and it's going to be amazing for their whole nations, and it's going to be amazing for the world in general. So, you know, I've never stated that any of the countries are without fault. So I'm not one of those who looks through rose-colored eyes and just talks great about this and that's all crap, or great about that and this is all crap. No, I don't do that. But I do realize that the media actually likes to slate, as we've all seen. And I don't know why, but instead of saying, yes, you are different, I am different, but we have the same goal in mind. We have prosperity. We need to look after our people. We need to actually get an economy going. I mean, geez, if only South Africa could think in that general direction, would be great, but they have no idea what they're doing, the bloody bunch of bananas. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. But the technology that China is running at and the speed at which it has caught up, because in previous years, we're talking 2-3 decades ago, just like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, China had to follow. They had to. I mean, everything that I've taken a look at and research has proved that they were not capable or not in the position to be able to almost do a self-standing independent efficiency. But what they did is, instead of doing what South Africa does, is play the victim card and say, oh, shame, our poor past, they went, okay, tell you what, let's do it. Jensen Huang was talking about the chips, and then Biden, and he was talking about the Biden regime still. And Biden said, oh, he banned them selling their top chips to China. They could only sell the H20 chips. And so the Chinese said, well, the only thing that makes a difference in AI is the fact that the amount of computers. So all we're going to do is we will double the amount of AI chips that we're buying. So that brought it to like $15 billion worth of purchasing. And they just put more machines in so that it worked for them. And then it was said, no, now you banned. You can't buy any chips. And they said, well, instead of going, oh, we have a problem, they went, oh, it's fine, don't worry. Huawei's got us sorted out. It's got the rest of the world sorted out. It's put 5G into most of the world. It's running. We've got our own chips. So what happened? You know what? Instead of working together, we forced each other to work apart. US is forcing US to start doing self-generation. China's basically having to do self-innovation. Which they're doing, but is it beneficial is the next question that I'm asking as we go along. Because, I'm anti the tariff war thing. I do believe that, and I don't care for South Africa. They deserve to be strung out, but I just don't believe that the people of South Africa should be suffering at the hands of the idiocy of the leaders that they are being had over there. However, I do believe that the top guys need to actually get to an agreement somewhere. China can be great without the CCP? Depends. The CCP has been good for China. I know that I'm not saying that they squeaky clean or anything to that effect, but you know what? Who? If not, then who? It's the same with South Africa. Who are we going to put in the place of Al Mampara? Who would you put in the place of Donald Trump? You know what? South Africa excluded, yeah. I just think that whoever's in power and the superpowers need to get together, and both are very, very capable of doing it. China, once again, I am not going to tell you that CCP is the same and how good it is, etc., etc. I'm going to tell you they're different, but they succeed in their difference. That's the only thing. Media is just a paradox. See Renaldo Gouws New Afrikaner video. I haven't seen it yet, but I see Hendo's put it in the chat as well there. And thank you, Buzzy, for thinking of like and subscribe there. Dylan says we sunk thanks to the cancer. Yeah, unfortunately. Apparently, you've just come off the grey list though for the money laundering countries. However, they said not to start shouting yippee yay for investors or anything like that. Hendo says, stop, let's put some of these things up. I keep on forgetting to put them up. Stop voting for the ANC in the next local elections for starters. That is correct, Hendo. I agree. You know what? However, I believe that the ANC keeps the majority poor and unemployed for the simple reason that it is to their benefit. The minute the people are poor, unemployed, and uneducated, because the minute they become employed, educated, and middle class, they would start thinking for themselves, and they would not accept the lies and tyranny that the ANC brings upon them. Right now, they can be manipulated and propagated to be able to do as they are told. But they are slowly but surely being propagated by other parties as well. And this is the next problem I have. We are so split. Even the minorities are split. Yeah. I mean, the biggest party that we had a hope on has just sort of lost their spines to the ANC as well. So who do you go for then? Who has the... You know what? Yeah, I don't want to, because those parts I leave for Renaldo and Chris, because I'll talk about one day when we're on a roll. But I really don't believe. I mean, you can't get an all-white party. Even if you got an all-white party and got everybody in the whites to vote for an all-white party, first of all, you'd have a very unequal party. You'd have very upset 95% of South Africa, and they wouldn't be able to agree anyway. So you actually need to have a multiracial party, or let's call it woke, rainbow party. And for that, you need somebody who's got insight to be able to put something together. I would prefer a businessman. That's why I do believe Trump has got a good amount of handle on what he's doing, because he's not trying to run a country, he's trying to run a business, which means he's looking at succeeding. He's not looking at power. Whereas if you find Cyril Ramaphosa doesn't need the money, he has no need for money. He just is dishing from the feeding trough with all the rest of the pigs. but he needs power. The ANC is power driven. They're already dishing out all the money they want from the feeding troughs. So that's not what they need, but what they want to be able to say is that we're in power, and that's why they had such a huge admiration for Mugabe, not because his country was burnt to the ground, but with the fact that even though his country was burnt to the ground, he was still in power. And that means that even if South Africa was burnt to the ground, they in power, they will see that as success. Hendo says, problem is SA, it will take at least 30 years to recover SA. SA won't be able to recover in 2, 3, even 5, 10 years time. It's going to take a huge amount. I mean, I saw stations today, absolutely. And it's going to take 30 years under the correct governing hand as well. So how long before we change, and how long before we get the people's mindset to change as well? These are, this is why I often say it's not what we can change that we are focusing on. Sometimes we're focusing so on what we can't change. We need to change what we can change so that the rest above or out of our reach can actually have the opportunity to change. Easier said than done. What's it? Rob Hersoff. Yeah, very good guy. I enjoy him very much too, Gert. Not in our lifetime. Hendo, you know what? I'm sitting where I'm sitting not because I want to sit where I sit. I miss South Africa very, very much. I really do. And there's even been times, especially beginning this year as well, where I have contemplated, to be honest with you, I have contemplated what the possibilities would be to return to South Africa. And unfortunately, if I actually want to eat, or if I actually want a roof over my head, I can't return to South Africa. That's the saddest part of our lives. Ina and I have tried to put together how to retire in South Africa, and we cannot. We can't retire in China because, you know what, no work, no pay, we don't look after your age, thank you, have a nice day. That's just not possible. Our only options are like the Philippines or Vietnam or Cambodia, where we've come from, and be able to go to like a Siem Reap or something to that effect, and hopefully have built up, which we don't have at the moment and are trying to build up. So if you are younger than what I am, then at least try and put some money away into some kind of trust, or invest in gold or crypto or something like that, so that you do have at least a crutch for when you need it. No one says worry about tomorrow, and no one says harp on the past, but people do say at least use your brain. It's good to follow your dreams, but bring your brain along. I think I put that one up last week, if I'm not mistaken. We're all homesick. Yeah, Hendo, you know it as well as I do. You know it as well as I do. And when Gert mentions that braai, I'm telling you, I get a little tear in my eye over here. Definitely. So Cambodia's home. Unfortunately, you know what, when I often refer to home, I'm referring to Cambodia as such. And it is very, very sad, because I miss driving through the evening with my window open, with those braai fires that you smell, the different lights, going down to the cafe quickly to go and grab some ice, which is probably now overpriced, but yeah. Debbie says the twins been in the UK for 26 years. Well, we're going for seven and a half years now out of country. We can't believe it. You talk about a week going by in the blink of an eye. Well, yeah. Okay, let's take a look about what I've been watching. We eventually finished The Old Man, 2 seasons of it. It's got Jeff Bridges, John Lithgow, and I don't know who, and Brenneman is, but pretty good. It's something that you've got to watch and listen. It has a couple of, dare I say, violent pieces, but it's definitely not fast-paced, but enticing and entrenching. Really, really good. We really enjoyed it. It's something that we watched. I enjoy Jeff Bridges, and I also enjoy John Lithgow as well. Very much reminds me always of the Dexter Trinity serial killer dude. But John Lithgow, in all means, Third Rock from the Sun was also a good one for him. But this is really a good one to think of, because especially if you like something that you get into, that you can watch, that you can stick to. I wouldn't say it's a political thriller. It does have its own politics in it, but no, it's really something that you want to watch, that you stay glued to. Really enjoyed it. Debbie, I keep forgetting we're in the UK. Oh, yeah, there we go. Ooh, it's second season of Landman. Landman, the second season I haven't seen out yet, but the first season was absolutely brilliant. We just finished that as well yesterday. Billy Bob Thornton, Demi Moore, John Hamm, very good. Who's watched it? Debbie, I'm assuming you've watched it. Second season, I haven't seen that it's out yet. However, it depends on my box. And Debbie Moore still got that damn sexy voice. The picture can go as long as the sound stays, eh? Jeff Bridges is really brilliant, and he plays a really good role here. You know, this is, as I say, the old man. I really enjoyed it. Don't expect Skopskit and Donner, but there are a few violent parts in it, so do be aware. But otherwise, it is absolutely gripping for us. It was really worth the 2 seasons, and I do believe there'll be another season. Landman definitely ends with another season in mind, but absolutely extraordinary. Also, it's the what's his name, Terry, same dude who did Yellowstone, which I still haven't got to watching. I cannot get through the first episode of Yellowstone, so one day when I'm big, I'm going to watch Yellowstone as well. Tyler Sheridan or something like that. What's Hendo say? They bought, let me start putting you up here and I can read. They bought in Milton Keynes and paid off one property and bought another. I think I've got your personal chat there, sorry. Demi Moore gets my engine turbo boost. Gotta put that up there for you, Hendo. She's also showing her age these days. She's we're showing our age when we have that. Gert, yes, we did watch Black Rabbit. Actually, we had it on the other day. Quite enjoyed that very much as well. Black Doves, Black Rabbit. And what was the one before that we watched that we enjoyed as well? There was Hostage, but there was another one that I watched before Black Rabbit, which was really good. I can't remember them all. I try and put them on as soon as I've watched them so that we can actually chat about them. But yeah, have you watched Black Rabbit? I don't know. Black Rabbit, yes. That was quite good. If you enjoyed Black Rabbit, you should enjoy The Old Man. Hinda says, watch Charmed. You will enjoy the hot ladies. says Bussy. Okay, that was for Hendo. Tamworth travels from Birmingham. Still a MILF, Demi Moore. Hendo just got stuck at Demi Moore. But yeah, Landman, really good. Then some movies that I watched this week. I watched the new one by Stephen King, The Long Walk. It's good, but you've got to be in your right mind to watch it, because otherwise you would just call it The Long Talk. Basically, everybody knows the story, so it's not giving it away. Is a whole bunch of guys, boys that end up in like a sort of a dystopian world. They have to go and they take a long walk, and they need to walk at a certain pace, and they can't stop. And if they do stop, they get one warning, then a second, third, and then they get shot or cancelled, as they would say. And then the winner gets full prize, money, and a wish. And basically, it's walking. So it's well done. It's actually put into such a way. I thought I was actually going to struggle with it, because Stephen King has a terrible way of doing a long explanatory things. I can't read his books because I refuse to take 10 to 15 pages of reading the description before I can carry on with the story. So yes, quite intriguing. A little violent scene here and there. But yeah, it's amazing what you think of or don't think of people having to deal with on a long walk. It's not like you get attacked from the sides. There's no zombies or anything like that. It's pretty much normal everyday stuff. It's not sci-fi. So yeah. And then, of course, the new reboot of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I think was in the 80s, I think. Or was it later than that? That there was The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I think it was Rebecca de Mornay. There we go, Hendo. If you want another good one. Rebecca de Monet, she was also at that stage good. But yeah. This one was good. I liked the older one more. Maybe it's because it's the first time and this one was like a rerun of it. I can't say it was badly done. I didn't feel it as gripping as the first time around. It's the same as The Long Walk. The Long Walk's like classified horror, and I don't see it as a horror unless probably you want to see the violence as a horror. I do see it as manipulative, not in any woke way or anything like that. But yeah, dystopian wise, almost like The Hunger Games on The Long Walk. There we go, if I can put it to you that way. And I saw the trailer for The Long Walk. Yeah, so now I've been waiting to see it because I actually heard about it as well. So I have been pretty interested to see it, but I have been worried because you know what? When you're looking forward to something, it doesn't always clench to what you are wanting it to be. But yeah, Gert says, haven't watched Black Rabbit yet, hence I ask. Black Rabbit's good. We enjoyed it. I think most people will actually give you a heads up on Black Rabbit. I like the pace of the story. I like the fact that they don't waste too much time on this and that. It's not a Van Damme movie or something like that, but I prefer those movies or those series which actually keep you gripped and keep you looking and keep you guessing and putting it around. Enjoyed it very much, and that's the same with The Old Man. The Old Man's a totally different thing. It's a guy who used to work for the CIA that was in Iraq, etc. And then things come out of the woodwork, and I don't want to actually give the story away because it's actually quite amazing that actually what comes out is good. Joe Nesbo is good reading. I don't know Joe Nesbo. I'll take a look at that. At the moment, I've just been reading Wilbur Smith. I know it sounds like a cliche, but I've been reading Wilbur Smith because it's what I can kind of get by. I sort of like try and read, what would you call it? People call them self-help books, guidance books, informational books, switching on your mind. I've got one at the moment that I'm reading by Joseph Prince called Live the Let Go Life, which is really great. I read that, Make Your Own Damn Cheese. And then in between, I sort of try and alternate between a storybook and then a sort of informational book, and then a storybook and then an informational book, so that I don't end up being stuck on one thing at the same time. Henda says, so long they don't do Fatal Attraction again. Bunny boiling. Didn't they do a remake on Fatal Attraction? Or did they not do a series on it or something? I don't know. I just, yeah, look, you know what? You want to talk about lovely ladies? Glenn Close was hot. I think she's about 80 now, but she was then. Henda Rebecca Dumanet was also. There we go. I think we're going on to talking about ladies here. You know what, Henda? You're just going to get me into a hang of a lot of trouble, and I've got a lot of work to do tonight. I cannot be spending the night on the couch as well still. That says, I think I got it. We'll watch. Good. I do have some news wrapped up here as well for us. But don't forget,
If no one else can help, then if you like to find
well, there you've got it. So before we do our news dash quickly as well, because I've been talking so much that I've left no time for the news, I've really got to try and one day when I've got the time and I feel like I've got the effort in my bum again, I'll change their theme tune, and I will add Morningshot to it as well. Because those are the guys you want to listen to. These are the guys who are doing your news analysis, and this is why I say, and I specifically put it on there, yeah, I talk news, yep, opinion, views, but you also see that I say it's the ordinary man in the street from the outside looking in. I don't see myself as ultra-ordinary, subordinary, or massively intelligent. I'm just asking the questions that everyday people are going to ask, and I'm going to look at when I look at the news. Chris Wyatt, Renaldo Gouws, Joe Emilio, Byron, and those guys in from Morningshot, they do absolute deep dive fact checking. Ronaldo's bringing out videos. He's on top of things all the time. Chris is on top of things all the time. They do amazing work for South African news. They're basically the only people that can actually bring you the truth, and this is why I drop them the courtesy of that little ad every time, because I try and remind you that what I talk about is what the everyday Joe talks about. I am not a big how should I say, analyst or anything to that effect. I'm just giving you an opinion, a feeling, a thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Please feel free to disagree with me. I have no problems with that at all. I'm not going to be anyone who says don't engage. Please engage. I'm not going to fight though. What's it, Debbie? They don't make movies or TV set. No, they don't make them like I used to. There's one thing that I did want to go through, and I might actually do it for next week, is iconic South African advertisements. And I was looking at the one, and it was for insurance. And it's the two old ladies driving, and this old lady, she goes through a red light and yells over the middle of a traffic circle. And the one old lady looks at the other old lady. She says, "Ethel, yes." She says, "Do you know that you've just been through a red light and over a traffic circle?" "Really?" she says. She says, "Yeah, you got to watch your driving." She looks at her. She says, "Oh, am I driving?" So yeah, I thought that was, Chris, yeah, really, really epic for analysis and things like that. But let's try. No. Right, so then we got Mr. Fix Absolutely Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Malula lodges questions about shady trip to Libya on Mazotti's luxury private jet. So the article published by News 24 City Press on October 25 reports on a secretive trip by ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula to Benghazi, Libya, aboard a luxury private jet owned by controversial businessman Mark Mazzotti. The lack of transparency about the trip's purpose, dates, or outcomes has sparked scrutiny, especially given Mazzotti's polarizing reputation and past allegations of dubious dealings. Mbalula evaded journalist questions, fueling suspicion of impropriety or hidden political business motives in Libya's volatile context. Libya, of all the places. The story highlights concerns over the accountability of private funding of the official travel and the ANC's opaque operations set against broader governance issues like corruption in South Africa, police service. With no official itinerary disclosed, the trip raises questions about alignment with South Africa's foreign policy and ethical standards. The article, part of the broader City Press edition, uses this incident to critique transparency deficits in the ANC leadership, leaving readers with unresolved questions about the potential conflicts of interest. And apparently this is also not the first time that Mr. I Know It All has done this as well. And usually he's all over social media, and there was absolutely zero social media on this one as well. So yeah. Next one is inside MRAM's 125 million jackpot. Hot water truckers cashed in on Chinese water. 700 million. Summary inside MRAM's 125 million jackpot. Water truckers cash in on Chinese crisis. In 24-25 financial year, the city of Tshwane grappled with a crippling water shortage, forcing residents to endure days without water and prompting the municipality to turn emergency trucking services for relief. This dire situation exacerbated by aging infrastructure and drought, opened the floodgates for private contractors to reap massive profits again from the metro's desperate bids to quench the city's thirst. At the heart of the windfall was Emram's Enterprise, a water trucking firm that struck gold by securing the lion's share of contracts. Over the crisis period, the company pocketed a staggering 125 million from Tshwane's coffers, making it the top earner in municipality's tanker budget. This jackpot, as investigators dub it, stemmed from around-the-clock deliveries to schools, hospitals and suburbs, where tankers became lifelines amid rolling blackouts and pipeline failures. News 24's probe reveals how the scheme ballooned costs. Emergency tenders bypassed standard procurement rules, allowing firms like Emran's to charge premium rates for volumes that have often fell short of promises. While the Metro shelled out hundreds of million overall, listen to this, with a disputed 777 million total under scrutiny, the opacity of billing fueled suspicion of over-invoicing and ghost deliveries. It's a crisis within a crisis. One insider told reporters, highlighting how profiteering deepened public distrust. Tshwane Mayor Nasifi Moya has since ordered a forensic audit into the spending, vowing accountability. They always want to audit stuff. They always want to have a meeting on something, but they first screw you over. It's like it's better to say sorry than to ask permission. Yet a summer looms with no fix in sight. The article warns that without infrastructure overhauls, truckers' bonanza risks reoccurring, leaving ratepayers footing the bill for a parched future. Now I ask you, with tears in my baby blue eyes, and they're not blue, but just if you have looked at me deeply, but I'm asking you, how can you, 777 million rand, this is what you have taken the people of your country for a ride. And that's just the city of Tshwane. That's not the country, by the way. And due to your own incapacity, you have now taken the taxpayer and ridden them even more. For 777 million, they could have probably fixed their problems compared to what they have just distorted. And ghost payments, no deliveries, premiums, Emram's Enterprises. Really? Really? Where are we going to these days? Stabbings, assaults, and verbal abuse. Gauteng schools rocked by pupil brutality. Let's take a look. The summary of Gauteng schools grappled with the surge in pupil violence. Gauteng's education landscape was shaken this week by a wave of shocking incidents involving stabbings, assaults, bullying, and verbal abuse among pupils, drawing sharp condemnation from Education MEC Matomi Chiloni. He reiterated that the department's zero-tolerance policy, stressing the need for communities to foster a safer, respectful learning environment. How can you foster a safer, more respectful learning environment when you are the ones creating the hostile environment in which people have to learn, have to live, have to cope? It's absolutely ridiculous that you can actually think of coming up, stressing the need for communities to foster safer, respectful learning environments amidst rising brutality that erodes core values of dignity. Key events included a brutal attack at Boksburg High School, where a grade 9 boy was stabbed by 8 peers who scaled a fence to ambush him. All suspects were swiftly arrested and the victim is under medical care. In Reiger Park, Oosrand Commerce and Entrepreneurship School of Specialization, a viral video exposed a group of girls savagely beating a fellow student on campus, leading to identification of the culprits and pending disciplinary hearings. At Pretoria's Christian Progressive College, footage surfaced of a male pupil physically and verbally assaulting a female classmate, prompting the department to vow decisive action against such unacceptable conduct. An outlier incident at Shosangues de Makatso Primary School saw a grade 5 child hospitalized after accidentally severing part of her hand with a falling axe while helping library staff. Four school employees were suspended pending an internal probe, while no root causes were pinpointed beyond the viral spread of the violent videos. These episodes highlight a disturbing trend threatening school safety. Chiloani addressed the students at Lesedi Secondary School, underscoring ongoing interventions like arrests and probes to hold perpetrators accountable and restore order. experts referenced in related coverage call for systematic reforms to curb bullying and transform school cultures into havens of respect. No broader statistics were cited, but the cluster of cases signals an urgent call for enhanced prevention measures in Gauteng's 2,000 plus schools. This is absolutely madness, people. Absolutely madness. It is the life or the way that the government in South Africa has designed for its country that is now filtering down into schools, and they are wondering why. Why? You know, we don't tolerate this. Yeah, you don't tolerate this, but you are creating the field for it. You are creating the atmosphere, the surrounding, the whole ecosystem for violence, for corruption, for intolerance, and when I say intolerance, I mean not tolerating each other. You keep on scratching that racism scab off. You know what? When people start making peace, the government pulls it up again. You foster the seed of intolerance between people, and then you wonder when that absolute sap seeps into the schools and the minds of your children, and then you go, we won't tolerate this. But you have been irrigating it for how long? For 30 years you've been irrigating this poison, which has now drifted into the schools as such. This is absolutely ridiculous. And then here's something to watch. Hangwani Morgan Maumela, known as the tender Don of Tembisa. Now we know Tembisa Hospital was taken for a ride for 820 million, and the people don't have beds, they don't have medical equipment. They are absolutely a hospital that should be looking after a sick and dying and people in need. You know what? It's not like they might need. A hospital is where you go when you are in need. That were taken for a ride, 820 million through a network up front of front companies. Monday, News 24 investigations will reveal details of Malumela's most lavish purchases. But this is what
this is a story that we've been chasing for
Jeff
nearly
Weeks has
3
got
years,
to say.
and now we can finally tell it. It centers on Hangwani Morgan Maumela, a politically connected syndicate boss and arguably the largest beneficiary of the 2.3 billion rand Tembisa hospital heist.
Billion, not million.
His network of companies was paid 820 million rand in the space of 4 years, and we followed the money. That money, meant for the patients of Tembisa Hospital, was used to fund a fleet of luxury cars. A crown jewel in that fleet is a car handmade in Italy. This vehicle alone is worth millions and millions and millions. Read the full story on News 24 on Monday.
Okay, so we'll see what News 24, as Renaldo's always said, he doesn't doubt News 24's investigative journalism. It's just that their opinions absolutely suck eggs. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Finalizing, just coming finally to UK pedophile. I'm so pleased. I was worried that we'd find Hendo. I'm kidding, Hendo. No. UK pedophile arrested in Cape Town for child abuse charges dating back decades. So, UK pedophile was arrested in Cape Town for child abuse charges dating back decades, in a significant breakthrough for an international justice. An 86-year-old British man, Ian Wares, was a confessed pedophile, was arrested in Simonstown near Cape Town, South Africa on October 24th. The arrest was carried out by South African authorities acting on UK extradition warrant, targeting Wares for the sexual and physical abuse of 65 boys in Scotland. These heinous crimes, spanning multiple incidents, date back decades, during which time Wares had evaded capture and lived as a fugitive. Wares, originally from the UK, had been living in South Africa for an extended period, blending into the local community in the scenic coastal town of Simonstown. The extradition process, initiated by the Scottish authorities, underscores ongoing efforts to hold historical child abusers accountable, even after years of impunity. While specific details on the timeline of the abuses or the evidence of leading to this identification remain limited in reports, the case highlights the persistence of law enforcement across borders in pursuing cold cases. No immediate court appearances or further procedural updates were detailed, but Wes is expected to face formal extradition proceedings in South Africa before potentially transferred to the UK for trial. The arrest serves as a stark reminder of the long shadow cast by child exploitation, with advocates praising the collaborated international efforts that finally brought him to justice. This development has raised discussions on victim support and the global fight against historical sexual offenses. My question to that, ladies and gentlemen, is why the hell do we wait until they are bloody 86 years of age before we actually arrest these bananas? Okay, fine. And he's from the UK and he came to hide in South Africa. What better place to go to than South Africa? They're so dopey they couldn't pick up a beer in a brewery, but he's had 86 years of his life, 65, which I would say known offenders. Really, really ridiculous, guys. Really, really ridiculous. I don't know why I do the news. But I do because, yeah. What are we looking at? RSA is an illness. I've been on a teleprompter thing. As you can see, I can't remember all of that stuff. Gert, yeah, you can take a bush out of them, but you can't. Yeah, I agree with you, Gert. Dylan, they always have the fish rots from the head down. Yeah, Gert, you know what? That's a true saying in Afrikaans. Die vis vrot van die kop. Useless, bring back discipline and detention. Debbie, that's actually a chat that I actually want to have one time on this on the stream, is the death sentence. Do we really want it back and why? But we'll actually have that one. Jail is where those people belong. Those people belong to have the key thrown away. Absolutely shocking. How many years? Yeah, decades. It's not 2 or 3 years, decades. Yeah, you go to South Africa, you get to go away with everything. Where's my coffee? It's finished and the wife didn't make coffee. I said, make me something to drink, and the easiest and quickest was orange juice. So I'm being healthy. Healthy juice, man. Let me finish off with this one before we get to the end, and it's a little bit of a smile at least. In Youngsfield military base this weekend.
The sky above the Youngsfield military base has been transformed into a spectacle of color and creativity as various kites took to the sky during the 31st edition of the Cape Town International Kite Festival, returning to the mother city with a renewed spirit and a powerful new theme, Courage to Fly. The festival has long been a symbol of hope, resilience, and unity in the face of mental health challenges.
Okay, so I didn't do the whole thing because I didn't want SABC to sue me. But well done to SABC for actually covering it, because if you take a look, let me just put this on stream here quickly. There's hardly any support for this. I suppose it's not violent enough, not bad enough, and people don't care about it. It is actually their 31st. Their 31st, let me swap it around there. It is their, let's sit this way now. It is their 31st kite festival, and if you actually go through the interview some more, or the coverage some more, there's a guy from Germany, there's a lady from Birkenfeld, there's people from overseas who've come to take part in it and everything as well. And the support and the structure around this is pathetic. I didn't even know it was happening. I actually fell across this by accident. And you know what? It's in conjunction with Cape Mental Health or whatever, and they actually try and give free mental health assistance and that to people. And it is such a vital statistic at the moment, is mental health. And because it's not violent enough, because it's not crazy enough, or probably because it doesn't bring in enough money or something like that, I haven't even heard about this. I've heard about the marathon that was cancelled and the marathons that are being run, and this is happening and that is happening. But this is quite a beautiful thing, and this is exactly why it hasn't reached the news. And this, well, it has reached SABC, as I said. Well done to them for at least covering it. But this is why it doesn't reach any higher planes, is because the fact is nobody cares about it. Nobody, it's nice, it's good, it's healthy, it's got a good thing that it's handing out for. It's got people from international that are coming to. There is, you should have kids flying their own kites there as well. You should have picnics there for the kids. You should be supporting. There's a few people with a shared interest who are doing it for. In aid of mental health, because October is Mental Health Month. Not that anyone would remember it, and it's not got freaking rainbows flying all over the place and guys with dicks running around and women flashing their tits all over the place, all dressed like whatever kind of beings and floats and crap and shit like that running all over the place. No, it's Mental Health Month. So who gives a damn? And who gives a hell if it's a nice kite or a decent kite or something great? Nobody cares. And this is the problem we face. These are the things that should draw attention. These are the things that we should put and say, listen, you know what? There's something good, because there's something good in South Africa. Everyone's always saying, oh, there's nothing ever good in South Africa. That was beautiful. But there's no support. There is no coverage. I don't know how much sponsorship there would be, because it obviously doesn't bring in the money that it needs to bring in. So, you know what? So there. That's it. But yeah, that's going to be the end of my rant and rave today. What do we got? Beautiful kites. Yeah, they are beautiful kites. Nice for kids. It would be nice if you had some kiddies. You know what? I'd love to, if I'd known about it and I was younger and I had my kids still with me, I would have like gone there and I would have tried to. Can we buy a kite that says national? And maybe had a design competition for people to design a kite that you can actually buy the designed kite, just cheaply put together with a design on that you can sell to raise money, and kids would be flying those kites over there, type of thing. You'd have McDonald's with their little mobile thing, Spur with their little mobile thing over there, and actually have this. I don't know. You know what? Am I just a dreamer or something like that? And I haven't taken my brain with me? Whatever. Gert says there was a classic car race in Cape Town too. The closest I came to classic cars was actually passing them when I did my motorcycle rides. It was actually a beautiful one. But these are good things. And why would we worry about them? There's no murder, there's no dying, there's no violence, there's no racism, there's no wokeism, there's no I was peaceful with anybody who had their own opinions. And the only time it started to scratch me up the wrong way is when people started to shove it down my throat. That's all. Let me see if I can leave you with the original thought before I go. Guys, you're all phenomenal, fantastic people. Let us not get out of hand. Let us always remember that we do have a mind of our own, but we also are human beings, so we have emotions. Remember this one always. You can only win when your mind is stronger than your emotions, because while your emotions run your mind, you are not thinking. Your thoughts are prevailing by what you see and what you would like, but you're not thinking. I'm trying so hard these days to take out of my mind. So from my side, I really hope that your mind will be set on good, that you'll focus on what you are wanting. Yes, what you want, and reach for it. Without effort, you're not going to get anything. Reminds me of the guy... Anthony, whatever, always said positive thinking is a very good thing, and it is, because you actually put positive thoughts into your mind. And if you've read Make Your Own Damn Cheese by now, you'll realize that it goes through to your subconscious, and this is what your attraction is. Anything, even biblically. So you can set your mind and focus. So when you open up your kitchen window and you see there's weeds in your garden, don't close them and go, there's no weeds in my garden, no weeds in my garden, because when you open those kitchen windows again, those weeds have taken your garden. But if you open those kitchen and you go, there's weeds in my garden, close those kitchen windows and go, there should not be weeds in my garden, roll up your sleeves, grab your rake, grab your spade, get into that back garden, pull out those weeds, so that when you walk back into that kitchen, you open up that window, guess what? There's no weeds in your garden. May you have an absolutely awesome, weed-free, phenomenally fantastic week, guys. I thank you one and all for actually being here. You have made my day, made my week, as you always do. You're absolutely phenomenal, awesome people. Thank you for sharing my thoughts, my views, my mind, for putting yours together as well, and for taking the time to listen to my gab. It's really, really important. Don't forget to reach for your dreams. Always follow your dreams. Never forget to take your brain with. It's really, really awesome. Be good. Take care. And if you can't be good, at least be kind. Cheers.